Hello, freak bitches.
Yeah, I feel good, man. I fucking got a suit from Hugo Boss a couple of months ago off the rack, and this was like, so happy. I could just buy a suit off the rack, you know? Before I had to have it made and have to go for a fitting, go for another fitting, all that
I'm
shit,
sure
man.
if they looked at the measurements on paper, they were like, what the fuck are
what
we
is
making
this?
a suit for?
What is this? You know, it's like this wide going down. What is this? Is a wardrobe? What is it? You know? So, yeah, I look on the other side of it. You know, young guys coming up, maybe they think, oh, that's strange. Like, and they ask me, don't you look at the pictures back and think, wow, I look like that? I'm like, no. I just look at that and I think, wow, that was fucking extreme, and what I did, and that's crazy, and it's incredible. But
does it weird you out to look at pictures of yourself? Like, does
a little bit sometimes when I look at those black and white pictures.
Giant picture of Dorian Yates in his prime.
If you got any of those black and white pictures, man, that's just like insane. There it is. Look at that. That's insane, man. That's like you couldn't really fit any more muscle onto that frame, really. You know,
not really.
So,
no.
Like, I know I went to places and I did things that other people, you know, in the gym.
Look at your fucking forearms.
Well, there's a thing, forearms. I never did any training for forearms. All that was just from gripping the bar when I was doing back training mainly, and some bicep training and stuff. So I had 19-inch forearms, and I didn't do a single fucking exercise for them apart from gripping onto stuff.
Look at that. It's so ridiculous.
Well, that's a good picture, but it's not me.
Who is that?
I don't know.
How dare you, Jamie, pull up a non-Dorian?
Because somebody put it on right next to somebody put it on Google.
Put up
Google
that
images.
One. Keep going to your right. No. Down where you were. Yeah, go to your right. One more. That one. Bam.
Side tricep. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's from on-stage picture from Mr. Olympia. So what you can see, if you look on the legs, you can see the thinness of the skin and the density of the muscle underneath. Like there's no fat, there's no water between the skin layer and the muscle layer.
What percent of body fat did you get down to?
Well, I don't really know because I had skin fold calipers. I used to do the skin fold calipers.
And they're not accurate.
They used to get down to like 3.5, probably like a month out. But I know I got leaner after that, but they didn't really register because they're not that accurate after that point. So I don't know, maybe 3%, but it's, you know, nobody measures your body fat. It's what you look like. It's a visual thing. So it's really what you look like in the mirror. But
how did you know, like, how much water to drink and when to back off and...
experience. I didn't really...
look at your fucking legs, dude.
I didn't restrict water intake until like maybe 24 hours before the contest. So.
Look at your right leg there. That's preposterous.
Yeah, that's a huge medialis right over the knee there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of sick work, man. That's like I used to train legs pretty much once a week, and for 4 or 5 days of every week, I had trouble sitting on the toilet. I had trouble moving around. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't be happy, man. I had to feel that fucking pain in the ass, pain in the leg, just to sit down. But hey, it's satisfying because you know you've fucking done some damage, right? If it's like that, and the damage repairs itself to get slightly bigger and stronger. Bodybuilding is just an adaptation to stress. Yeah. You know, you put a certain stress, your body's going to adapt to it. Fuck, I need to get bigger and stronger so I can handle this stress next time. That's basically what it is. So you're continually trying to stress yourself. Like anything, like you want to get better cardio, you've got to stress your cardio system so it adapts.
Yeah, there's no other way, right, to get that big? I mean, there's no shortcuts. There's nothing you can do. There's no easy route. Well,
I don't know. It looks like guys are looking for the easy route now because I don't see them training that hard. But then you don't see the quality of the physiques. The guys are big now, but you look at the quality, it's not the same.
It's not the same. Okay.
It's not the same. It's generally accepted in bodybuilding that the 90s was the peak of competitive physiques. As far as the standard and the depth of the standard, there were like 6 to 8 guys on that stage that were like really... Like if you were off, you know, those places could change. Now you got one guy, Phil Heath, who's Mr. Olympia, and it's pretty like distance between him and the next few guys.
Now, what is it though? Doesn't it open the door for a current modern day Dorian Yates, like some super dedicated person? I mean, physiologically, people can still do the same things that you did.
Yeah, but things have changed since the 90s. There's a lot more avenues that people could choose to go down as like doing a sport. Or I mean, for instance, UFC, it didn't exist in the early 90s. I remember watching the first show on I was in New York. I watched it on TV, the very first one, with Royce Gracie. So you got MMA, you got CrossFit, and you got all these other competitions now in the bodybuilding arena. That's not bodybuilding. It's men's physique, where they wear the board shorts and they're going to have the nice physique and abdominals, the kind of physique that most people aspire to have, I guess. You got classic bodybuilding. So you got a lot of different avenues, and I think the interest in pure bodybuilding is a lot less than it. I mean, in the 90s, everyone wanted to be a bodybuilder. It was like hugely popular.
Yeah, what's interesting now, what is this, Jamie? What are you pulling up here?
This is a Mr. Olympia from 1996. It's myself, Sean Ray in the middle, and that's Ronnie Coleman on the end, who became an 8-time Mr. Olympia.
You guys are all jacked.
Also.
It's so hard to tell. See, I'm looking at this, I'm like, how the fuck do you pick?
I'll work
Ronnie
it out for you. The guy on that end is the best.
That one right there? Well, it's also got to be hard for that tiny dude that's next to you. Because you're just so much bigger than him.
The tiny dude has always been unhappy because he got beaten by me. But thing is, he had a great physique, just like Frank Zane had a great physique.
Right.
If he was the same size as Arnold, maybe he would have beat him. But he wasn't the same size as Arnold. And the same goes with the gentleman up there, Mr. Sean Ray. He had a great physique, but, I was twice as big. So a big guy always beats a good little guy, right?
Yeah.